So you are planning to move to Thailand. I'm so stoked for you. That's amazing. But even if you're kind of a seat of the pants traveler like I like to be, like to kind of just show up and figure it out, I think there are a few things that you need to do prior to your trip to make sure that your integration is super smooth and to make sure you're all legit when it comes to laws or anything like that. So in today's video, I'm giving you a concise 5-step program to make sure you are all set up to enjoy Thailand as much as possible and you don't get turned away when you show up.
I need to log off, I need to step back. Constantly online, causing me setbacks too. Every day see so many people doing the things you do, and they're doing it better too. Whoa, whoa. It's like, why should I even try when there's always some other guy who's way ahead of you?
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Tempus TV. You may or may not know, I moved to Thailand about a little over a year ago. I essentially just sold everything, bought a ticket, hopped on a plane. Now looking back, that experience was super fun, a little bit stressful when I showed up because I didn't really know what was going on. So I thought it would be a cool idea to put together a list of 4 or 5 things that I wish I would have done, that even if you like to kind of just show up and kind of figure it out as you go, there will be plenty of that, don't worry. These 5 steps would have kind of made things a little bit easier. I would have kind of known what I was getting into a little bit better, just so I could have hit the ground running when it comes to enjoying my Thailand experience. 2023 ICF Stand-Up Paddleboard World Championships. That's a first. I didn't know there was paddleboard competitions. I don't know if they race or what. That's pretty cool. I'm sure these guys work really hard, but I just can't really imagine a stand-up paddleboard race. I've done it a few times and it doesn't seem like you could go very fast, but we'll come down here and check it out. It starts this weekend. So first things first, before you buy your ticket, before you start trying to figure out where you want to live or anything else on this list, I think it's a good idea to start doing some research on a little bit of Thai culture. Start to wrap your head around a few of the things that might be different. There are things that you might not enjoy. There might be things that you're super excited about. But when you show up, especially if you've never really traveled before overseas like myself, culture shock is a real thing. Now me, being uneducated and not really traveling, I didn't really know what culture shock meant. I kind of thought it meant just like everything looks different and the food is different and you're just kind of like, whoa. After being here for a year though, it really has to do with the culture. Especially in America, we're generally all kind of raised with the same ideas and values, and most people kind of respond to things certain ways. But in Thailand, it's very different. People here are raised very different. Just life in general is very different. So of course, people are different, situations are different. And ideally, I'm hoping you want to come here, you want to spend some time with locals, you want to make some Thai friends. So it's a good idea of maybe how to conduct yourself a little bit, things to do and things not to do. That way it'll make it super easy. Well, not super easy. It can be kind of hard to make friends with Thai people sometimes, but it will give you your best shot. So hop on the computer, start doing some Google searches, and just like every other point in this video, I've pretty much got videos on all these things that go more in depth. So if you want to learn some more about major Thai culture differences, make sure you hop back in the catalog and check that video out. Step number 1, start doing some research on what's actually going to be different. Number 2, money, money, money. Finances. I know we all hate it. We all hate paying bills. But of course, this is one thing that you should have squared away before you get to Thailand. Now, there are plenty of videos out there talking about budgets and cost of living and everything like that. But one thing that I really failed to do was kind of be really honest with myself about what I wanted to experience in Thailand. And I didn't do enough research on what's cheaper. Now, most stuff in Thailand is gonna be cheaper than your home country, but there are some things that are more expensive, especially when it comes to food, certain types of clothes, some like random household items. So it's a good idea to kind of have a good bearing on all that so you can really understand how much you're gonna spend per month. Then on top of that, a big one, I didn't really have to deal with this, but I know a lot of people, especially younger guys like myself, this is kind of their plan when they get to Thailand, and that is to work here. Now, sometimes it can be very hard for foreigners to find jobs in Thailand. A lot of industries are reserved for Thai nationals. So if you plan on coming here to work, that is one that you should really not sleep on. You should start doing some research, start looking that stuff up. Now, of course, you want to be legit when you get here. So make sure, especially if you're going to need a work permit, if you're trying to stay long term and you can't get that retirement visa, this is something you have a bearing on and hopefully might have set up a little bit before you get here. That way you can hit the ground running and you're not getting here chewing through any of your savings or, you know, having to worry about money. Number 3, another one that you definitely shouldn't lack on, and it's a good idea to have at least an idea of how you want to do this when you get here. And that's where you want to live. Now, this might not necessarily mean which condo or anything like that, but really, what part of Thailand do you want to be in? Now, of course, Thailand is not one size fits all. Everybody likes something a little bit different when it comes to living situations. North of Thailand, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai is a lot different than Koh Samui and Phuket down south. Bangkok is decently different than Pattaya, and all these places are going to be much different when it comes to activities, prices. So do some research, watch some videos like you already are, try to get a feel for what they might be like when you get there and just where you like to live, really. Now, I always recommend when you do pick which city you like to be, ideally you can show up and maybe travel for a month or two when you first get here, go to these different cities, see how you like them on the ground. Once you do find your city, I always recommend that maybe get a condo for 2 or 3 weeks. Don't commit to anything long term. I think it's a really bad idea to sign a lease or something like that before you get here. Hang out somewhere for 2 or 3 weeks, cruise around the city, and see where it really is that you would like to stay. And of course, shop around for some prices. If you spend some time looking, you can find very cheap, relatively nice accommodation. I always recommend Facebook groups or anything like that. And back to our first point, these Facebook groups can help you connect with people that are already in country, so you can kind of double dip on that one. Number 4, it's number 4, right? Man, I think I'm forgetting how to count. Yeah, number 4, visas. Visas. This is probably my most frequently asked question across YouTube, Instagram, whatever it may be. What visas can I get? How long can I stay? How long can I do this? First things first, guys, I'm not a visa agent. I don't work for immigration. I can only tell you my experience and the information that I've had applied to me. The big thing about Thailand, it's a little different for everybody. Everybody has different experiences. So you're gonna have to do your best to find the situation that works for you. And I always recommend just be on the right side of it. Now, it used to be in Thailand, you could come on your visa exempt status, which if you're coming from America especially, you can just show up to Thailand, no prior visa needed, you get stamped in for 30 days, and then you can extend that to another 30 days for a total of 60 days. And it used to be what a lot of people did is after this 60 days was up, they might bounce to another country real quick, come back, get the same visa exemption, and then just rinse and repeat. But lately, this seems to be changing. Last time when I was coming back in from Laos, I had done this for a little bit just because I was still traveling when I first got here. But immigration did let me know this was probably gonna be the last time I could do it. So start doing your research, see what visas are available to you. I wouldn't recommend watching too many vlogs about it. Just go on the Thai immigration website. They're gonna have all the information. See what applies to you. If you're trying to stay long term, these can be a little bit more difficult if you're under that retirement age of 50. But of course, this isn't something you can ignore. You have to be on the right side of it. If you do something wrong when it comes to immigration, it's just gonna be a bad day. They can kick you out of the country. They can blacklist you from coming back. So definitely before you get here, get the ball rolling on that. Even if you apply for a tourist visa in your country and then show up with that tourist visa and not the visa exempt, this gives you another 30 days for a total of 90 days. Or get the money together and start having your education visa or whatever rolling before you get here. That way you're set up. A lot of those longer term visas, the processing times can be pretty extensive. And of course you need enough time left on your current visa for that to process. So if you come here and you stay for that initial 45 days and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna switch to an education visa, that's not gonna work. Usually you need at least 30 days. So God forbid you have to do another visa run, you go to come back in and you get turned around. So this is one don't sleep on. Jump on the Thai immigration website and make sure you're on the proper side of the law when it comes to visas. 5. I think it is a very good idea. This might not be for some people, but for most people in general, if you're like myself, this is probably a good idea. When you're making your plans on when you first arrive, make some commitments to see as much as you can. Now, coming from experience, when you do find a place that you like, it can be easy to just kind of stay there. And if you were coming to Thailand with the idea of seeing new things and experiencing new things, you're not gonna get that full effect if you just stay in Bangkok the whole time or you just stay in Pattaya. So make an effort to get out a little bit more. Commit to some trips, maybe buy some plane tickets and stuff before you even get here. Buy some hotels so you're committed and you can't back out of it. Because you never know, you might be surprised by a place or you might find a new place that people don't really talk about and you may end up wanting to live there, or it could be your favorite vacation spot, whatever it may be. So make some commitments before you get here to travel around as much as you can and see as much as you can and experience as much as you can. Now, when it comes to finding a place to live, you can also kind of double dip on this one because then you can see more and you might end up somewhere that wasn't on your list at all and you might be like, holy shit, this is the best. I love it here. This is where I want to stay. And once you do travel around a little bit more, I feel like you get a better feel for what Thailand is actually like, and it can help you feel more a part of the community. And no matter the situation, 99% of people want to feel like they're part of their community or want to feel like they're integrated. They don't want to feel like an outsider. It kind of makes you feel like shit. Now, being a foreigner, you're gonna kind of feel like that sometimes anyways. But if you're out and about, meeting people, going out to maybe more rural Thailand, this will definitely help you feel a little bit more like a Thailand resident. So if you follow those 5 steps, I think your first couple months in Thailand are gonna be super smooth. It's gonna help take away some of that culture shock. It's gonna help you integrate and just kind of hit the ground running. So if you are planning a trip to Thailand soon or planning on moving here, go ahead, click the video on screen right now, learn a little bit more. Thank you guys for tuning in, and like we always say, catch you in the next one. Tell somebody you love them.